Hello on the Rockers. It's our Party Monster episode with the cool club kids. Drag's baddest bitch, Rhea Litre, is here. And the Prince of Twerk, we got some royalty here. JoJo Guadz is here with my guest co-host, nightlife guru, Vincent Daugherty. And me, your favorite host with the sassy most. Raise a glass and let the drinks begin.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Ooh, listen to that applause. It's already happening, folks. Buttons and bows and pantyhose, On the Rocks podcast, a place where we're too glam to give a damn. I just love Valentine's Day. We just finished. Insert sarcasm there. What I love most is seeing boys post Instagram stories with their boos. Number one, I didn't know you had a boo because they're not good enough to add to the grid, but they're in your stories. Okay. Number two, I saw them on Grindr. Bloop. Happy VD indeed. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air, and on Facebook, On The Rocks Radio Show. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will show up. Info at ontherocksradioshow.com. The show is presented by Straw Hut Media. You can watch and or listen to our now almost 300 episodes at ontherocksradioshow.com. You can watch us on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, on the Outa.tv app, Facebook Watch, streaming with pride on SVTV, and on Channel 31 on the East Coast. Hello, East Coast. 4 times a week. The show is brought to you by FanDaddies.com, bringing you the sassiest and classiest clacking fans and hats for prides, EDM parties, sassy selfies, and even sci-fi nerds. Live long and prosper. Head to FanDaddies.com. Support your small LGBTQ businesses. Also, a word of warning, tonight's shenanigans are being fueled by the vodka tastings of NEFT Vodka. Pure taste, it's damn good vodka. It's even in the name, damn good vodka. Vodka as it should be, that can be drank neat or with anything you want to mix with it, and I have mixed everything with it, and I don't get a hangover the next day, which is unbelievable. It's produced in Austria, starting with pure Australian Alps spring water and a mash bill of 4 ancient rye grains. You go, rye grains. Packaging is very unique. It's in our oil barrel right over here. And it reflects the name NEFT, standing for oil in Russia, which is, of course, their hottest commodity. Head to neftvodkaus.com for more info. Okay, let's get... There you go. I love that. Let's get this show on the road. Please welcome back my guest co-host. He's done the show before. Vincent Daugherty is an event producer, bartender, and creator of Wonderland OC, throwing fabulous LGBTQ parties in Orange County. Please welcome Vincent Daugherty.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Okay, I have to know, nightlife is coming back post-COVID. What are the biggest rules of success for an effective nightlife party, especially post-COVID?
Let's see, biggest rules for success. I think it, has to do with creating an amazing vibe that everybody wants to come to. Wonderland, I think, is a little bit of what I learned in New York City, San Francisco, and LA. And I'm trying to bring all that to Orange County because I think they're lacking a little bit of that, the nightlife scene in the LGBTQ. So I think it has to do with the whole scene, the vibe of everything. Your DJ, your performers, your security, your staff.
What I love bringing in different elements from different cities. I think LA, we've had the nightclub thing happening, definitely not in OC. And it's funny, OC is literally 40 minutes away from LA, yet it seems like a world away. I was born and raised in OC, and I'll still hang out there from time to time. It's not always the most progressive, even in today's standard.
They're definitely a little far behind the rest of us.
Well, and we know that they had a club out there that had an issue.
We're very aware of that club.
Yes. So how has the reception for Wonderland been? And I have to tell our audience, I went to the opening night, and it was like, what is happening?
Yes. It's been a very successful night, and I'm very thankful for it to be at Roomba Room Live. So we're right next to House of Blues. It's a 1,200-person venue.
It's huge.
It is massive. So we're definitely we're in the process of building the night to where we want it to be because we've only been doing it for 3 months, and we started during Thanksgiving and Christmas and the holidays. but we've had a wonderful turnout so far. So we're excited to see what it's going to be like come summertime, spring.
Well, and some appearances by our cast for tonight, by the way.
Yes.
I have to know, like, you've done every type of venue, every type of party. You've been in all the major cities. What's like one of the craziest memories that you're like, God, I still can't believe that happened on one of my nights? Or can you talk about it?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I feel like there's so many things that happen. Probably the worst ones are what you remember, right?
Okay, well, I want to hear.
No, I mean, I think a lot of stuff happens in the nightlife scene. I can't really think of a specific time that was the most extreme.
You're just being PC. I got this question from Instagram. Do you have a boo? I think this is somebody that you know, by the way.
I do not have a boo.
You're boo-less.
I'm boo-less.
But we're booze-full today.
Boo's full today.
Booze-full and
I
boo-less.
spent Valentine's Day alone, unfortunately. But
I watched Fatal Attraction and had a 20-piece chicken McNugget, and I'm not afraid to say it. I had the best Valentine's of my life.
Yes.
Of course, I woke up with like sweet and sour sauce. I'm like, meh, meh, meh. All right.
Dead.
Well, my diet was dead, but okay. Let's introduce our cool kids for tonight. Rhea Litre is American drag queen, singer, songwriter, and DJ. She's a fixture in West Hollywood nightlife. Over the past decade, she has made a splash as gay LA's gender-bending it girl, from hosting popular parties such as the weekly Voss Events Drag Brunch, Ash Wednesdays, to gracing the runways of Marco fashion shows. She has a number of hit singles out there, now streaming, and she has traveled the world, literally spreading it around. Please welcome back to the show, Rhea Litre.
Ooh, drag's baddest bitch if you're nasty.
Oh, she brought it. Also joining, I believe the first time on the show, JoJo Guadz is a dancer who built a fan base by publishing twerking videos and tutorials to both his JoJo Guadz Instagram and his hotter than hot YouTube, by the way. I watched a few episodes over and over and over in preparation for today. I was like, he has gone on to build a sizable social media presence and has twerked in every situation and location imaginable, even alongside Lisa Vanderpump. She was like, oh. Please welcome JoJo.
Yo.
Okay, we're just going to jump right into it. You know, we're talking about the club scene, past, present, and future. I want to know from the both of you, what was your first introduction to, like, the club scene, and how old were you? What was happening?
Ooh, okay. I'm just going to go first because I'm a woman and ladies go first. No, my very first gay party was White Party Palm Springs 2004.
That was your first?
It was my first gay party.
What a
it
way
was
to
all downhill from there.
How do you even go out after that?
I
mean, it was the most insane experience, but it was amazing because it was the first time I had ever seen so many gay men together, and to experience that so young, coming out of the closet, I think it was really special, and it really just, started my career like that. I was like, honey, drag queens and muscles, I'm in this for life.
And celebrities, too.
Yes, of course.
You became one of those celebrities on stage. Now, White Party did have a reputation for not being inclusive, not being diverse. Is it okay, in your mind, and this is open to everybody, is it okay to have parties to be like, this is for the muscle boys. They spend time going to the gym and they pay attention to their bodies. Let them have a party. Or does everything in our community have to be inclusive?
I think people that are not muscular should get out there and take off their shirt and party with the rest of us.
I agree. I absolutely
Why not?
agree.
I think the segregation has a lot to do with people being insecure, too. So it's like, girl, love yourself. Love your body. Love who you are. Love your soul. And more people will love you.
And people need to mind their business, too. Like,
have a drink, girl.
Yeah.
Have a NEFT vodka.
Okay. Cheers to that.
Seriously, though.
But we have had this discussion of also having an inclusive go-go boys so that we have different ethnicities now being represented. And this is a conversation that I'm sure you, as a club promoter, like, this is what the audience wants. The audience wants inclusivity and wants to progress. We're no longer segregated. Even like bear parties. I had this conversation. I still think the bear community keeps itself isolated, and you made a really good point. It's like, sometimes it has to do with your own insecurity. It's like, you know what, if you want to do it and go, then just go.
Honey, and I know a lot of muscular, chubby chasers. Y'all missing out.
Oh. Do you have phone numbers?
Uh-huh.
I need phone numbers. JoJo, what was your first club experience?
So actually, my first clubbing experience kind of happened later. I didn't really start going out until I was 23. I got wifed up at a really early age, and once that ended, then I was like, all right, I'm coming out. And I started going out in West Hollywood. Right away, I met drag's baddest bitch, Rhea Litre, who showed me the way. She showed me the VIP. It was lit. Honestly, right off the bat, it was fire.
It was not hard work. He was just amazing to work with. I mean, charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
You know, and not hard on the eyes. Now, we did get this question from your fans: is how exactly did you meet? Because you know, we meet a lot of people out in the nightlife. Some people stay, some people don't. Some people stab us in the back. Some people we fall in love with. What was the chemistry, and how did the friendship grow?
It's actually crazy because years before I even got out to West Hollywood and met Rhea, I actually heard her song on Instagram, and I said, and I've been twerking for like 5 years now at this point. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a twerk video to this bitch's song. Like, it is so good. It is fire. And I did it. She reposted it. And
I said bloop. I was like,
reposted
oh
it.
my, this boy twerking to my. I was living, and I mean,
And then I started coming out. And then, honestly, too, the biggest thing when I started nightlife, I started as a go-go dancer, and I had the best time every time Rhea was there. Every time it was Rhea's party, it was the party I wanted to dance at. So I asked her, I'm like, yo, can I start dancing at all your parties? And then I literally started dancing at every
yeah, he
single
has
one.
horrible taste.
But this is very true. No matter where you are in the world, and you've literally appeared all over the world, if you can go to a Rhea Litre party, even if she's just there, like, it's an experience because it is this positive type of energy. And no matter like what group you ascribe yourself to or what you get into, it's like, you know, you just go and have a good time. It's always a positive
I agree.
spin.
She's always amazing.
No, I have to ask, what was your first club experience?
Oh, my first club experience. I think it was like Houston, Texas, actually, and it was at a lesbian bar.
Oh man,
No,
Lesbian.
and it was like
$2 drinks.
It
I'm
was like
assuming.
it was like a mega lesbian bar. It was like 3 lesbian clubs in one, so like all different music, different DJs, and different levels. And it was called Club Eden. Actually, I think that was my first club experience.
No, it must have been like low pressure. I mean, I used to go to lesbian clubs because it was like no pressure, whatever, and the drinks were super cheap. 'Cause they don't spend money, but that's just a stereotype. Don't
I'm
send me an email. Everybody wants to know also your coming out story, and I know that all of you have kind of shared it on your own platforms, but for our audience here, and I know JoJo, maybe your dad wasn't like quite on board at first.
Oh, no, he definitely was not on board at all. I actually came out to him last, though, like a month before I moved to Los Angeles. At that point, I already knew I was moving, and I had a month left in New York. So I'm like, all right, this is the time. I got to tell him. So I told him. That was just, it was very, it was actually kind of sweet moment, though, because he was telling me, like, you know, you could tell me anything you want, you know, like, you know, I love you. You're my son. You know, I got you. And I'm like, really? Anything, Dad? And he was like, yeah, anything. And I looked at him, and I was like, Dad, I'm gay. And he was like, what? No. He started screaming my mom's name. He's like, Vita, get down here.
Sunday family dinner's
Oh, he lost it. But yeah, my mom and my brother had already known at that point, and both were so supportive. From the second I told them, both of them were like, my brother grabbed me. He gave me a hug. He kissed me on the forehead. He's like, you know I love you no matter what. He's like, same with my mom.
Now, you did spend some time in the closet, so to speak, with like a secret relationship.
I did, yeah.
Did that affect the way you've had future relationships?
You know, all of my relationships have been terrible because men are terrible.
Agreed.
your taste is also questionable.
Yeah, true. Whatever.
Spill the tea. What's going on with his taste?
He goes over the same guys, the same unobtainable WeHo fuckboys. He loves it. He loves it. As much as he says that he does it, he just can't get enough.
I love a man with an attitude, the swag. I'm like, oh yeah.
So a straight case then.
I mean, I don't necessarily say just that because I can go for a femboy as well. I mean, my last boyfriend was kind of femme, you know.
He's here right now, actually. No, just kidding. Can you imagine if he walked in? Like, drop that.
What's up?
But he's all, hey guys.
Okay.
But coming from like an Italian family, you have like, I don't know if you guys were Catholic. I'm just, assuming stereotype. And in like Italian Latin cultures, there's this whole idea of like masculine energy. And to talk about, masculine, feminine, like let's say, and it's so un-PC to say, but say like you're very passable. It's not like you walk in the room and it's like, oh, gay, gay, gay.
Yeah.
So that also has to play with kind of, how you kind of came out.
I mean, I do get that a lot. Most of the time, people don't even know that I'm gay until I start bending over and twerking my ass. You know, they're like, oh, okay, wait, he's gay. Okay.
Same.
Yeah,
But it's
definitely.
funny because there's this growing number of go-go boys and even influencers that are gay baiting is what we say.
I know.
They make money off of us. They charge money for their OnlyFans, but no homo, bro. Right? And it's like,
Hey, I'm not mad. That Jack Hips boy, he can get it anytime he wants. I will give you $5.99 till I die.
But there's nothing worse than going on someone's OnlyFans and then there's like they're having sex with a girl. I'm like, oh man, there goes my excitement. I
Yeah,
just
for real.
lost.
At least fuck her in the ass.
You know what I mean? I'm like, all right.
Oh snap!
but do you feel that the level of gay baiting has definitely increased over the last couple of years? Because
Yes.
people see how popular you influencers are from Instagram, from the YouTube videos, from everything, and that's their only kind of way in.
No, yeah, definitely. I agree, especially with TikTok too. It's almost like it's a trend to be gay. So they're especially going out and it's like, damn.
Should
you
we
were
be
fine.
calling them out?
Yep.
Should we be saying, hey, don't follow these people, or do we not care?
I mean, I don't care.
Yeah,
I
same.
I don't
think
care
the
either.
more the merrier, and I think the true definition of inclusivity is being inclusive to every, gender and every sexuality and what it is. I base people on the way that they treat me and other people and how they act. And if you act correctly, I'm cool. Just don't be that drunk bachelorette bitch coming up to me pulling my hair. I am not your pet, boo.
Now, to be honest, there's some drunk gay guys pulling your hair, and
They can pull my hair.
No,
They
Ray,
can also choke a bitch too.
have you ever dated somebody in the closet?
No, I've never dated someone in the closet, but I have with them
In the closet.
in the closet.
And I'm sure some straight celebrities have reached out to you too.
Actually, you know what? I did date somebody that was in the closet, and someone that was so obsessed with going to church. And
Go figure.
And,
Love those.
and-
Go figure.
but also, she was an ice skater. Okay, so I don't know who you were trying to fool. But it was very uncomfortable for me to date somebody that was not okay with who they are because I was so out there. It just wasn't a match for me. I mean, I just felt bad for him every day. He just blew me and then just started praying and repenting. I'm like, oh, great.
Oh God.
I mean, it was so good he had to pray to Jesus. I mean, that's how good it was. I'm like, oh my God! And on the 8th day,
I'm having nightmares. I'm having flashbacks and nightmares right now.
now, Ray, what was your coming out story?
Honestly, if I didn't really surprise anybody, but I ended up beating the shit out of my little sister for something, and to get out of it, I came out of the closet. So,
Your sister's like, thanks.
I was like, it's time. Mom, I'm gay because my mom was about to whoop me. But my little sister, she was deserved the ass whooping she got. So we both got our asses kicked that day.
What was
You weren't expecting that story, were you?
She was like, it's the perfect time because what
This had
she did is so
everything.
bad.
This is like the Euphoria spinoff, like we needed right now. Had family drama, abuse, and coming out.
Dude.
How about you?
Mine was actually I sent my sister a Facebook DM, literally like it was like 3 or 4 pages telling her like I was gay. She never read it. So it was like, no, stop, literally.
She left you on read?
She never, well, she never
she didn't
even,
even
she
read
didn't even she didn't even check it. And I was like, I took so much time. It was like my heart and everything to be like,
Yeah.
the one person who I thought was like, she never read it. So then I like reached out to my mom and it ended up being a big deal. My dad was the same way. He was like, you got to get out of this house. We can't be having no queers here. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it's just so ridiculous. But
Yeah, Dad, you've had a queer here.
yeah, it's
the whole
been-
time.
And now you know what I'm doing behind the scenes, and now you have an issue with it. Literally,
And you're,
so
and you're welcome for
ridiculous.
not shitty Christmas presents. 'cause
But-
gay.
And then the sister who I thought was gonna be so kind about it was she wasn't nice about it. She didn't want me to, but it was like they're like in Texas, like I was born in San Diego, but then I grew up in Texas, so I feel like it has a different kind of.
It's always a surprise, and that's why there's such a fear, because people you assume are going to be totally okay with you coming out sometimes are not, and people that you assume would fight it are the first to accept.
Exactly.
And it just goes to what is family, which could be friends, and that's what
And that was
unconditional love is. And
my
that's it.
brother was the same way. He's like a Marine, like give me like the biggest like sat my back and was like, bro, I love you more than anything. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. The one person I thought was gonna be maybe a little iffy about it
Yeah.
was more than kind about it, which I love so much. He's still like one of my best friends.
All right, let's talk about some of the reality of nightlife. We know that nightlife can sometimes ruin people's lives when they get too into it.
Mine every night.
Well, no, but here's the thing, and so this is a very serious question, is you guys are doing the party scene. I mean, every time I see you have another event or a live appearance that you guys are doing, and then when you're not, you're supporting other people's events, and you're showing up fully dressed, partying, drinking, carousing. So how do you maintain this like business empire, this brand that you both have built for yourselves while doing this? Because there's no way that I could do what you do every night.
I mean, I'm a firm believer in unity and community, as my friend Matt Flynn would say. It's just about supporting each other. And, you know, I never did nightlife to, like, get rich or get one up on people or, you know, even to be a bitch. I did nightlife because I saw how happy it made people feel. You know, it brings me so much happiness to see how other people react to drag, to go-go dancers. You know, everybody has their own story going on and their own, you know, demons, and coming out, everyone's looking for a like-minded person or a new friend. They're looking for something, and that's what I love so much about nightlife. And, you know, I'm stuck with it. I mean, at the same time, it is not easy, ladies and gentlemen, and those who have yet to decide.
Okay.
This is not an easy career. I
Not
cannot
for
tell
everybody,
you
that's for
my
sure.
hangovers.
My trick is
My,
pre-workout, bitch.
Yeah.
Pre-workout every day.
Same girl.
Yeah, Pedialyte, you know, like
Pedialyte. Why don't they just sell it for what it is? No shit kid is going into 7-Eleven and getting their Pedialyte. Like, we know who's buying Pedialyte.
yeah, for $20.
Yeah,
no, girl.
Yeah,
no.
no trust.
Yeah, I'm pre-workout. Literally, I have to take pre-workout every morning right when I wake up, and I force myself to the gym, and I work it out, and then I do it again. It's like it's a schedule now.
Yeah, I wake up at 2 p.m.
Yeah, I was
and,
gonna say I sleep till 3 every day.
Is that true?
I swear, every day I sleep till 3 p.m. Yeah.
And little known fact, you guys used to be roommates.
Uh-huh.
How long were you roommates for? Did that work out?
Almost 3 years.
It was great. It was some of the best years of my life. The pandemic split us up.
Yeah.
Is what it was, and we got along really well. JoJo is the best person to live with in the world. He is so clean. He is so tidy. He pays his rent months in advance. You know, like he does. I'm not kidding. I was Gagatron dread, and I was like, thank God, because I don't have my rent this month, so you could cover mine.
Literally. I would be like, all right, here's rent for the next 3 months, because I didn't want to have to think about it. It was paid off. Now all the money that I was making is going in my pocket. It's going in my work, my music videos, my twerk videos, you know? So.
Well, I think that's also what hits influencers and nightlife personalities. The money starts to come in, and they think that it's a nonstop well, and it's not. So people are not prepared. People had to move back home from COVID because they're like, oh, I need to buy this brand of shoes, and I need to, you know, get all of this. Or it's like, pace yourself. This is a business. Sometimes business is good, and sometimes it's not bad. And then we have a pandemic that shuts everything down.
See, honestly, too, I didn't have to move during the pandemic to go back home. I did it to be strategic. I did it to save my money. I worked on my online brand. I created my website, JoJoGuadz.com, where I have a 4-month twerk training program that I literally filmed in my parents' basement. Like, I learned.
You tricked out that basement, by the way. It was like
thank you very
MTV.
much. Thank
Like,
you.
and I did get this question is,
like this.
Okay.
yeah,
Literally.
it actually did, yeah. But going back home during COVID to stay with your parents, what was it like going back? Was it kind of an adjustment? Because
You
had
know
to
what?
answer to like a roof over your head.
It was shocking. I'm not gonna lie. It was a very like culture shock. But at that point in my life, I was ready to like chill because I was doing nightlife every single night. I was out, pretty much blacking out every 7 days a week for months. Like,
And
no,
still
for
able
real.
to pay rent?
Of course.
Like, I black out, I lose my social security card and a limb. Like, that's what happens.
Well, listen, I black out and I undo my pants in the morning and I find $50 and I'm like, oh shit,
How'd you get that $50?
okay, some way, trust me. But no, yeah, it was. At that point, I was pretty much just like over it, and I was like, I need a break. This is gonna be a good reset to go live with my parents and focus on my work and try and like. I didn't drink the whole time. Like, I just was very well behaved and I took care of my health and my mental health, and I was ready. I came back and I was like, I was working and I've been doing so much better since the pandemic. So
I think there's this fear of like missing out when you see other people get booked, and it's like we're afraid to take time off and take care of ourselves.
Oh,
And that's
100.
that's just as important as booking the next gig. Did you have hookups at your parents' house?
So
Be honest.
no, honestly, I'm being honest. My dad was extremely quarantined. I wasn't allowed to leave the house at all. The only time I couldn't even go to the grocery store with my mom for 8 months. The only time I would leave was if I wanted to. I would go to my brother's house and sit in his backyard, and we had to be like this far apart from each other. It was, I mean, I was definitely on Tinder and like talking to boys. And when I go back to New York, which is in 2 weeks, I will be hitting them up.
It's time.
literally in 2 weeks.
He's gonna take a few weeks off the twerking videos and be like, I can't walk. Okay, so this brings me to a hot topic, and I want everybody to weigh in, however you want. Over COVID, many of us had to keep working in nightlife with appearances and such to pay the bills. There were Instagram accounts that were set up to highlight and admonish gays who were going out, who were traveling. Is it our responsibility to call out other gays? What is your take on that kind of whole situation?
I loved that profile. I got my life when those queens went down in the boat, honey. I was living. I thought it was so funny.
But there was,
Not when the queens went down to the boat.
I mean, that's funny on any level. But some people lost their jobs. Also, I'm going to just assume that we all had moments of weakness. We all did things that maybe we shouldn't have, or we had to work.
Oh, bitch, I moved to Vegas. There was no limitations. I was out almost every night during that pandemic and moving to Vegas.
I was there a few times.
You know, it was incredible. It was amazing. It was honestly, it was more safe than anything because everyone was so safe. There was masks involved and sanitizing and 6 feet away and certain people to tables. It was actually like a great experience. It wasn't crowded. It wasn't crazy. I mean, I also wasn't going to Puerto Vallarta and popping my pussy with 5,000 of my closest friends. But I felt like we did it really responsibly. And by we I mean us at the Garden. Eduardo Cordova, he really knew what he was doing, and he really created a safe space for us to party.
But is it our job to call out other people in our community that are not doing the right thing?
No, I really don't care. I go do your thing,
I
girl.
think exactly. Do what you're gonna do no matter what. And I don't think it's if that's what you think is safe for you, then that's what you do. That's safe for you.
People make shitty decisions all the time, and it's not up to me to judge them. I'm gonna let the universe do that.
But don't you think certain things have changed, such as inclusivity and racial hate, because we have become aware and because we have called each other on it?
Well, some subjects should be called out, but I don't think every subject.
What's the fine line? Some people were dying of COVID. Some people, lost their jobs.
I mean,
well, tell your grandma to stay home.
the line is I
just
think,
kidding, just
too
kidding.
hard to draw.
She's dead. Thanks.
Oh, God. But actually, though,
I'm losing. I'm losing this interview. I'm losing.
Well, listen.
She just walks out. She's like, "We're done here."
But actually, though, working in nightlife, that is how I kind of look at it. Is like, you know what? COVID is around, so if you have underlying health issues or you're planning to be around someone that is, be safe. Take
Get
care. Worry about
vaccinated.
yourself,
Get your booster shot.
And I think,
Absolutely.
like you
I
said, I
agree
think we
100%.
took care of ourselves the most. And even the CDC had rules of how gay men should have sex.
I saw that as
It
well.
literally was on the website. It's like,
it
this is what you
was.
do, this is what you don't do.
They've been
Stop
trying
it
to
some
tell
more.
us how
That
to
is
have sex.
crazy. I did not pay attention to that.
Oh, it's a whole thing.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna read it. I want to know what they gotta say.
You're doing half of it. You're doing half of it already.
Yeah.
You're good. Okay, this question is from your fans again. What are the biggest misconceptions people have about you, and do you bother trying to fight those misconceptions?
Oh my God. My biggest misconception is that I'm a hoe. I am like the complete opposite of a hoe. I basically don't ever have any sex. Rhea can vouch for me. She lived with me for 3 years. I'm just I'm a romantic man, and I'm looking for, my future husband. And my future husband, I think, deserves someone who is not a hoe. So I am not a hoe.
Although we are not hoe shaming.
But
on
people,
this show.
no,
Yeah.
not at all. No, I'm all. If that's what you want to do, more power to you. Like, I support that. Like, I support the whole life. I wish I could, but I just can't. For
Ever
me, it's
since
just,
I met JoJo, he has been looking for a husband. He is one. He's
I love that.
He
That's
is
the
just
sweetest though.
He's
It
just
is.
a one man type of guy, and
Yeah.
like when he dates somebody, like nobody else exists. And
Very
he really like dives in head first. He's just super passionate about love and finding love and it being forever. And he always has been.
But because of what I do, everyone thinks I'm the exact
Exactly,
opposite.
yeah.
There's my misconception.
I do have to say, we know the thirst traps out there, and I follow them all, and I swipe, and every day I'm like, what do you have now today? But I say, you're twerking. It's really about dance, I would say. And I've never seen anything that you post that is so lascivious or that's like just there, just for the thirst trap. It always focuses on what you've studied and what how you're interpreting your art.
It is very I use dance as my outlet for creativity, and honestly, like I black out when I dance. That's how much I love it, and it is all about the art. I pride myself in the technique of how I twerk. I don't feel like I go out there and just jiggle my booty fat. Like I really have a technique and an art form, and I can teach it, and I take it very seriously as if someone would take any other dance style. Ballet, jazz, tap, hip hop. So I do definitely try and like put the art form of it forward, and I do that by like not showing my booty. Like I'm always wearing sweatpants, shorts, because for me it's about the musicality and expressing myself. So yeah.
Yeah, I have noticed that. Very upset, but I have
Thank you
noticed
for
that. Damn, you close there again.
Well, thank you for noticing. Thank
Yes.
you.
Rhea, what are some of the biggest misconceptions people have about you?
They're all true. They're all true. Yeah, believe it. What?
I mean, you say drag's baddest bitch.
Well, people
You're
think
not
that
a
it's
true,
bitch.
that's
You
true,
are not
that's
very
true.
supportive.
I say that I am not. People think that I'm a bitch, yes, and I am a bitch when it comes down to it. And you come for me, I will come for blood. But I'm not a bitch because I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch because I'm a bad bitch. And I work hard, and I create community, and I create safe spaces for us, and I stand strong for us, and I will fight for us. And I have, and I will continue to do so. I like to consider myself a nightlife superhero, and I'm here to protect and serve.
Serve her fellow man.
Yes.
She'll bend over backwards for you. Now, what are some of the misconceptions that people have about nightlife in general that you want to be like, that's not really true? Or are they true?
Okay, nobody is dancing all together. Like when you see in a movie and like
Yes.
everyone like dances together. No, girl, it's actually way different than that. And I will tell and let everybody know that gay clubs will trump any straight club on the planet. Period. Because the dynamic and energy is so different. I feel like every straight club I've been to has been like, the guys are trying to impress the girls, and the girls are acting like they're not interested, and there's just like this weird thing. You walk into a gay club, Mary, it is a carnival. It is free for all. It is fun. It is good
the music's
music.
always better.
It is entertaining.
Always.
So, I encourage everyone to come out and, experience gay nightlife, especially in West Hollywood. If you're in Orange County, make your ass come to Wonderland, because there's no other gay experience like that in the OC.
It really is like the club kids have come
Yeah,
home.
it's a
really
large
is.
nightlife experience, and Vinny has brought lots of icons in nightlife there. There's Kiki Extravaganza, RuPaul's Drag Race stars like Kimora Black, my sister Six from HBO's We're Here, JoJo, myself, Manila Luzon, Sir Vodka just did a big promotion there. It's just a really great experience, and the lights and the dance floor and the people. It's like I'm a slave to the rhythm in nightlife.
Well, I'm glad that OC has a glimpse of, hey, there's this kind of energy. You don't have to be at some, oppressive environment. You can go out. You can, kiss somebody on the dance floor or hold hands or just really enjoy your time. There's another world out there.
Absolutely.
What do you think some of the misconceptions are about nightlife?
About nightlife? I mean, I feel like there's a lot.
I mean, yes, everyone is doing coke in the bathroom.
I mean, but to be fair, they're doing it at an 84-year-old Hollywood birthday party.
100%.
Like, it really is. Like, always the train comes by me, and I'm like, bitch, does it look like I do coke? Like, but if you do that, that's fine. But it is literally everywhere. Like,
It's literally everywhere.
Oh yeah, G is G is there. Ketamine is there, honey.
G is still
Miss
around?
Molly's on the dance floor.
I didn't know
This-
that. I didn't
that
know that G was
back.
still
I'm
around.
like,
I didn't know
let's
that.
go back to 2001.
Actually, when I lived in SF, they would do that as like pre-workout. They would do G before they went to work out in the
my
gym.
God.
I'm serious.
I think they still do that.
I know. I'm pretty sure it's like
Yeah.
a thing. Like the Muscle Boys, they do that before they go work out.
I just never got into it because I really love liquor.
Yeah.
Like NEFT vodka.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I'm ready for my first shot of the night.
Yes.
It's a Twerk Tuesday.
Oh,
so.
Twerk
yeah,
Tuesday.
Twerk Tuesday.
Ooh, Joe, tell us about Twerk Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Twerk Tuesday is actually my first party that I started and promoted myself. It's every Tuesday at Beaches in West Hollywood. And yeah, it's literally just twerk music, $5 tequila, so everyone just gets lit and twerks all night. I usually undress and I twerk as well. It's great. Cheers to Twerk Tuesday.
You'll go from sweatpants to sweatshorts.
Okay. To underwear real
Oh.
quick.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll twerk in my underwear at Twerk Tuesday. You
Might
know?
get a surprise tonight. You know?
We'll be there. We'll be there. It's like, come on.
Cheers.
I thought he was
Cheers. Oh
Catholic.
wait, actually, we passed me that Neff.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
If I'm gonna pass it, I'm gonna need to pour a little bit more.
No, I'll pass it back, right back to you.
So, no, you won't, because I need some. Now, JoJo, so talking about your twerking, the focus is, of course, on your booty. That's an element of twerking, right?
Yes.
But do you ever feel that the focus is so much there that you as an artist is kind of being overlooked because, you know, people are watching your ass? And do you feel ever, like, objectified?
I mean, I don't ever really feel objectified. I guess I could, but like I low-key enjoy it a little bit, feeling objectitied. So I don't think of it. And
You like that exhibitionist?
yeah, I just like the
Likes attention.
yeah, I do like attention
Yeah.
a lot. All right, fine. I like attention. Whatever. It's true. All right. But no, I definitely do think there's times where I should be showing the front side of me more, my face, my personality, and I feel like I don't show that a lot, and a lot of people only know me for the twerking. So when I do show the other sides of me, my face and my personality, sometimes it doesn't stick. But lately I've been doing a lot with Tony Directs, and we've been doing all these like crazy skits, and people are really starting to get to know my personality. So
The last one's like, we're not boyfriends, and it's like this whole, yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like for the majority, I usually see your personality in most of your posts.
100%.
I always see that smile or like that, like something that's like I feel like is like a JoJo Guadz vibe for
Right.
sure.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that just by looking at his pictures. They
Yeah.
just think that he's, you know, some Instagram thought. But he has a lot of personality, and he has the greatest personality. I mean, that's, you know, that's why I keep him around. Puts
And
a smile on Mother's face.
And I really do think it does come across, such as like you don't just post thirst traps, and we know some of our friends, mutual friends, that's all they have going for them is, you know, a worked out ass or something, and it's not that personality or that skill to keep your brand going, to do the hard work. And I definitely think that that's definitely part of your brand. Now you started working as a dancer for Hunkmania at like age
oh my
18.
God, yeah, wow, you did your research.
Oh,
Damn.
snap.
It wasn't hard to do my research. I was like,
Way.
Now, what are the pros and cons of getting into that type of dance so early on in age?
So I honestly, from like the age of 14, I was like telling my mom even like, I'm going to be a stripper when I grow up. I want to be like, why wouldn't I want to like dance and get paid for it? You know, I always had big ambitions. You know, I was going to be a doctor or a vet, but I was going to pay for my schooling by being a dancer. I love dancing. So when I turned 18, I went on a vacation to Dominican Republic, and someone there saw me and was like, wow, you're crazy. Like, come work at this club, Hunkmania. I got my job there, and like I did it as an experience to grow up because I was an Italian boy, you know, living with my parents. They sheltered me a lot. I wanted to explore the world. I wanted to go to the city and be rebellious and, you know, get wild. So I would take the train from Long Island all the way to Manhattan, go work at the strip club. And it was honestly the time of my life. I've always made it a huge point to, one, like stay away from drugs and leave at a reasonable hour because I didn't want to get caught up in anything. But it honestly, it was like living my Magic Mike fantasy. It was the coolest thing that I ever did for myself. And I really did. Like, it matured me a lot. It made me grow up, and like, I don't know, it was cool. I loved it.
And you kind of got to explore your sexuality in a safe place where,
Yeah.
like, you know, even though it's going to grope you or dollar here, but there's still, it's about your performance and about your space.
Exactly.
Where I think most of us explore our sexuality probably not the best ways early on. Rhea, what are some of the parts of your life that we never see on social media?
Me waking up.
And green, you have like an eyelash
See
here.
it on my video.
You have like a boob in the corner.
Actually, you know, when we were living together, I used to get some of the craziest stories from him waking me up. I mean, I look like something out of.
Wait, what about the one with like the princess outfit? Hold on, stop.
Story
August
time.
Getty.
No.
Are you
Okay.
kidding? Okay,
I was
so
like, I firmly remember this one,
Uh-huh.
and it was the most entertaining thing I've
This
ever
is all
seen.
the time. This is not just this one time, though. Tell the story, Rhea.
okay, well, so August, my friend August Getty, he loves to wake me up, and the way he wakes me up is by going like this. Or Caitlyn Jenner. Or like, and so one day it was after Halloween. I was literally wearing my Snow White outfit still, and the
As
little
one
bow in
does
my
after
hair,
Halloween.
yes,
Here we
and I was
go.
asleep on the couch, and he did it, and I just attacked him in half sleep. It is as crazy as I even submitted it to America's Funniest Home Videos. It's hilarious.
It should have. It
yeah,
should have.
it should have went up. But I try to document everything. I have Rob Flo as part of my house now, and he handles like a lot of my
Rob.
social media. He's here as well, and I like to document everything. I want when I die, people to know what I did.
But literally,
They will. Oh, they will.
but literally, you cannot wake Rhea up. Even if you go in, like, I would go in and be like, Mom, and touch her. So, Mom, she'd be like, jump, like I was coming with a chainsaw to kill her. Like,
No, I blame August.
I love it. Now, right, your drag mothers, Mayhem Miller and Raja. How often do you check in with them about your career, or are you all grown up and you just?
Oh my God, all the time. I talk to Mayhem multiple times a week. Raja, I speak to, once a month or so. She's her old trons, and she likes to do her things her own way. But I have a lot of projects that I'd like to do with my drag family. I released Clouds with Mayhem on my last album, Buck Bonky. Raja and I have a song coming out called "Anya."
Wait, what was that? What was that again? What was that again? Say it one time.
That's the title. Literally.
And I really like to keep them up to date with what I'm doing, because I know that they are both so busy. So I do go out of my way to call them and give them the tea and say what's up.
We know that in our community there can be a lot of backstabbing, a lot of shade.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay away from the shade? How do you rise above it?
You can't stay away from it.
And you have to not pay attention to it. because
Exactly.
It's always going to be there, and there's always going to be things being said.
But that's
You
easier
also
said than
can't get
done.
involved.
You
So
have to
how
think
do you-
smarter.
Yeah.
You have to think smarter than that person coming for you. You have to always
Because
think of a
they're-
way that you can that you will get on top and get what you need, while letting them think that they're getting what they need. It's a little bit of manipulation play, but it's a way that you really have to navigate through nightlife. These are sharks. These are monsters.
Yep.
Lucky for me, I'm a staple bitch, so you can't come for me.
Yeah.
Literally,
True.
wait, this bitch the other night, this
We got it here.
girl that came for her during the pandemic was walking up to her to say hi to her at Beaches the other night, and she looks at her and goes, "Don't come over to me, bitch." And the girl was just like,
Don't come over. Don't be fake. If you want to,
Yes.
if you want to talk
That's a
and
huge
do
part
your
of our
thing on the
community.
internet,
Yep.
don't you dare come to my face in person and think that I'm not going to say something to you.
100%.
Oh, girl.
Or, can I get a selfie? No, you
Yes,
can't.
no,
bitch.
I'm as real as they come, and you never have to wonder what I'm thinking or what I'm.
And
you know,
all
what
those
I'm saying.
people who come for us, we know who they are.
Yeah.
We never
we'll
for-
always
I'm
remember
Latino.
you.
We never forget.
We'll always
Never.
remember you.
Yes. Okay, here's another hot topic. A number of drag race queens come to LA after the show, and they come and move, and they take a lot of local gigs, but they're Los Angeles residents at that point. Are they taking gigs away from the local talent that has put the time in there? Should a club be concerned with giving special attention to the local queens that have been here for a few years?
If the gig is yours, it can't be taken away, mama. So no one's taking anything from you. Step your pussy up. There are a lot
Yep,
of bad
That's a
bitches.
different response.
There are a lot of bad bitches out there, and I am not one that is threatened by anyone. If I see somebody fierce, they're my sister. I'm going to make them my sister. I'm going to be like, girl, do you want the gig? Let's go do something together. I'm not intimidated by a bad bitch because I am drag's baddest bitch.
But let's say you are definitely on a different level than some of the other local queens that...
Exactly what I said. Step your pussy up. Be better than. Know that you're better than. And go take what's yours. If it's yours, if it's meant to be yours, it will be
And
yours.
I feel like if you need
stop looking for a reason to blame why you're not getting X, Y, and Z, because you have to put in the hard work to get it.
And what you said earlier about what Matt Flynn said, unity in the community, reach out to the girls that you do know that have those gig spots. And if you need a little help with your makeup, your wigs, or whatever, I feel like it's all about being there for each other. And I think everybody's amazing, but sometimes people just need to learn maybe new techniques on how to do their drag.
Get on YouTube, girl. Nikki Tutorials is everything. Fix your face.
But I really love that advice. It's like, then work harder, do more. Don't just sit and blame.
There's
No,
always
you
going to be
can't.
gigs that you can go after. Like, that's one thing that I admire about Rhea is she's always giving an opportunity for those girls that are not on RuPaul's Drag Race, that are the underdogs. But the fiercest ones are the ones that keep getting booked. So, you know, like she says, step it up and she'll book you. You know, you'll find work, you know.
And if you're a performer or influencer, you have to. I mean, we don't pick up the phone anymore, but you have to hustle every day. Such as, what's the newest party in town? I should be there. I should have an appearance there.
Hello.
Or create your own event.
Heart just opened in West Hollywood,
Yeah.
and I got up in drags, and I went there, and I showed up, and I showed
saw
out.
you go. Yes,
you
you
know what
did.
I mean?
Everyone's
Like, do that. Go out there. Support your nightlife community. If you're looking to get in drag and you don't know how, go meet a drag queen. Help her zip her into her dress. Pick up her tips. Carry her bag. Like, learn from queens. I'm sick of these queens learning from YouTube how to do drag and then coming out to the nightlife and expecting a booking because they're beautiful. Honey, you're gorgeous, but you have not put in the work nor the time. And if you want to be part of the community, you need to be part of the community. Period.
I agree.
Punto.
Period.
Amen. Rhea, I have to know about your creative process when coming up with a new song, because your songs, they have this fierce energy, but they're very different. And so, are you like writing the lyrics out in the corner with a glass of wine, or is it just in the studio, just kind of riffing
sitting on
around?
Sam Garfield's bed, smoking a joint, listening to his production, and lyrics come to me. I think of a topic, you know, and you know, one of my songs is called "Tuck It." The topic is literally tucking your junk. And it was Six
One
and
of my
I did it.
favorites.
It's on my album Buck Bonky. It's with Caswell as well, and it's a parody of Salt and Pepper's "Push It." So tuck your back, shake your ass, fuck the boys, make it last. Ow, gonna party on the dance floor all night. See you checking my J-Star highlight. Hey sis, you're going on in 5. You know, like you know, it's I like music that makes you feel good and makes you feel fun.
Yeah. I want to know from all of you, because you all have collaborated with different entertainment personalities, different bookers, different clubs all around the world. Have you ever worked on a collaboration that wasn't going so well, and when did you realize it was time to pull out and like call it quits? Like, this is not a good relationship or collaboration or gig for me. And I think it's hard for us all to say no, especially after COVID. We're like, yes. And I know from personal, we take a gig and we're like, what the fuck was that?
I mean, for me, fun fact, everything I've recorded, I've released. My time is valuable, and I am not wasting it. I don't care what it is. It'll go out, and then you know what? It is the year of the internet. We live in this world now. Nobody's going to remember it in 2 weeks anyway.
I think for me, the biggest thing that I deal with a lot is because I am passable straight man, a lot of straight guys attack me. So when I work for companies that are predominantly straight men that are watching their content, especially if it's girls twerking, predominantly straight men are watching girls twerking. So I'm getting attacked a lot on gigs that are like that. There's even been a time where I got booed once. They said,
Are you serious?
They said, y'all want to see a guy twerk? And they pulled me on the stage, and literally all the dudes started booing. And guess what? The song played and I still bust down. And then everyone started going. All the girls started screaming. It was lit. I ripped off my clothes. And then none of the guys could say shit because what are you going to do?
And their girlfriends are like, why don't you look like that?
Literally. I literally did
Right?
a song about, I have a song in the works about literally that. It's just like, you're mad about what I do, but then your girl's on my shit following me and wishing that I was her man. So it's like, whatever. Sucks for you.
Well, and I know you've worked with a lot of artists that you've had to book. And sometimes, I mean, I know sometimes relationship, and it's hard to just say, hey, this is not going to work out.
Yeah, it was like, for me, it's like more, I wouldn't say like collabs, but it's more like when you're booking somebody and it's like a last minute like cancellation, like kind of puts you in a bad position to where like going forward, you're gonna rethink if you want to, book that queen again going forward, because they leave you with 4 days to book another queen. Especially if they're a RuPaul girl,
4 days?
it puts you in a very,
You said it, I didn't.
a very a tough position. But you just have to roll with the punches. Sometimes it's something you can see past, because sometimes there's real things that are happening that people can't get past, and so then you just do the best you can.
But I think what I've experienced, even from this show, we're doing Pride gigs, for the girls that have put the years of work, such as yourself, and the professionals. You don't have to worry about them showing up. It's the newbies that either all of a sudden have a season on a TV show or get 100,000 followers, and then their whole attitude changes. And it's like, well, did you forget how to be a professional? I mean,
Well, for some girls, this is their first shot at fame. This is their first time of feeling like they were seen or heard. And, to be completely honest, excuse me, it's a little understandable because they're feeling so on top of the world. I did have an ego, and I did feel myself when I first got my little bit of fame, going my first tour in 2012 and touring the world, and I was like, ooh, yes. But at this point, I've realized what that was and why you should not be that person, and why being graceful and being appreciative of your work is the way to go. That's why people are like, girl, would you change? I'm like, girl, I've been famous for years already. I'm not gonna change.
Yeah.
I changed when I was 23.
I can't even see you changing, actually.
No.
I can't see you changing.
but I'm glad you share that with us. It's like we all have our moments of ego, and it's how you learn from that and move on. And ego is healthy when it's when it affects
Absolutely.
your job,
I
but
agree.
everybody should have a healthy ego, because that's your self-confidence
and
that's your belief in your work.
Don't beat yourself up if you have a day, if you are feeling a little bitchy that day, or you know what I mean. You're allowed to be who you are. You know what I mean? Please give me bitch.
It's hard when you guys put yourself out there as influencers, because they expect that that's the person they're going to meet on the street. When either you're hungover, you're depressed that day, you're in a bad mood, and it's like, then that's all people are going to remember for that 2-second interaction, and that sucks.
And people have a big
that is the
expectation of
worst.
me, to be this over the top, extreme, positive, happy twerker. I am not the Energizer Bunny. I am chilling. It's Sunday. I'm hungover.
I'm on my way to church with my boyfriend.
Literally, everyone all the time is coming up to me is everything okay? Are you okay? I'm like, yo, I'm chill. People don't realize that I'm this Italian boy from New York. My vibe is very chill. I get in moods where I'm hyper and I'm like, all right, let's go off and have fun. But people think that I'm like that all the time. So when I'm not being that, everyone's always, oh my God, what's wrong with JoJo? Is he okay? I'm like, yo, I'm perfectly fine.
Or they say, hi, you want to twerk for us? It's like, no, bitch, I get paid to twerk. I'm not going to twerk for you on the street.
Well, I'll do it, but just don't touch me. People want me to twerk for them, and then they want to come and grab my butt.
Right.
I get touched way too much. That's the other thing that you could ask Rhea. I get in fights. I grab someone by their throat
at all.
Because so if that's one thing. If you see me in public, say hi, be nice. I'll give you a hug. Just don't grab me. Don't touch me.
I feel like even not as a twerker, I'm sure it's even worse for you. But
I hate it.
Walking through any club, it's like when someone literally grabs your ass.
Sorry, guys.
Not very It's like, yes.
Literally, it happened to me the other day at CVS. I swear to God,
At
I was at
CVS?
CVS.
It's probably some
and
86-year-old guy,
some
too.
guy
Not 86.
No, he was
At
actually.
that point, you let him.
No,
He died happily.
honestly, though,
no.
he actually was kind of attractive, in his 30s, but it was just weird. He walked up to me and he literally said to me, he said, "Thank you for wearing your mask." He wasn't wearing a mask. And then came up to me and groped my butt and grabbed it. And I looked at him and I was like,
sounds so creepy.
An under cheek grab?
Literally under cheek grabbed my butt in the middle of CVS and said, "Thank you for wearing your mask." And I tossed his.
Did you get his number?
Oh my God.
I love him.
I hate
Not
it.
the
It
under-
Rhea's
drives
going to be at
me
CVS
nuts.
all day tomorrow from the minute they
Yeah,
open.
which one?
Yeah.
And she's
Damn it,
like,
I'm so sad Miss Connections on Craigslist is no longer.
What the hell? That was the best thing ever. And then we always thought it was all about us. It's like, well.
Oh,
anyway.
did you ever place a Miss Connection? I saw you.
Yeah, and I was like, this is going to be my love story for
I
our
saw
children.
you at Alfred's Coffee in the gray sweatpants.
And then you got 100 responses. Was that me?
She goes on Tinder immediately, puts her thing to 1 mile radius. She's like, I'm gonna find him.
All right, hot topic. Should straight men be on a drag competition show? Should women be on a drag competition show?
Inclusivity.
I mean,
for
I guess
all.
it's a question for me. 'Cause, I mean,
No, it's for women.
That's
I think
probably
sure.
right.
I
I
mean,
mean,
drag-
sure, why not? Good luck, though.
Show me what you got, bruh.
Yeah.
And what I seen, you ain't got it. So you know, I'm cool.
And
You know, for me, I need my queens to have a level of fierceness.
Yeah.
And a fierceness, like I need to see the walk. I need the attitude. I
don't see much
I
of
need
that.
And you know, it's different cultures. And you know what? If you want to try and do it, but do it fiercely. I know a lot of sickening white twerkers that are like sickening, and I love it. You know, like you can do something that's not part of your culture per se, but do it well. Do it, do your research, do it well, and be fierce at it. Don't make a mockery of it.
There's also what producers want to put on TV to make sure that there are the viewers week after
Yes.
week. So you keep certain people on a competition show just because people are still tuning in to wait for that. But my opinion on it is we've worked so hard to have our own voice. Let's have a few more years where it is our own voice because we fought hard. People from our community have died. People from our community have gotten beaten up. We have struggled in media. People have lost their jobs for coming out. So let's have a few more years before we need to be all inclusive for somebody that has not suffered the same way our community has.
True story.
Yeah.
True story. I do agree with that as well.
I do as well.
It's just it's a fine line because we are also getting towards true inclusivity, and I think going towards it is actually being it. And I think that honestly, the straight contestant on Drag Race, I would have lived if she was fierce. If I like really felt like she was a level, I'm okay. I'm
That's the
okay
job.
with that. I'm a fan of good drag, so it doesn't matter who you are. If you're a cis female, if you're trans, if you're a boy, whatever. If you do fierce drag, I'm a fan. Before I'm a drag queen, I'm a drag fan, which is why I produce drag shows because I love to see people live. Do your research, do it fiercely, and don't make a mockery of what you're doing, and I'm all for it.
But the audition standards for everyone should be equal. We shouldn't be like, oh, well, this is a good storyline, so just because he's not as fierce as everyone and not as beautiful, let's put him on just because
he's
of,
straight.
I agree with
like,
yes,
how about
totally.
the
That's why-
auditions should be equal for everyone?
Well, I
you
don't
know?
feel like the show has been looking for America's Next Drag Superstar since
Yeah.
season 6. So they are producing. No, I'm
She said
serious.
that was how many years ago?
I'm
They're
dead
producing
serious.
their franchise. They're producing the product
They're
they can
producing
put out
a great
on
reality
the line.
show, and
Yeah.
if you shoot an arrow and it goes real high, hooray for you.
Yep. And then shoot 8 more arrows at every different country.
Rhea Litre, season 15.
Drag Race Guantanamo Bay. Woohoo! Okay, there's been a lot of recent talk about body positivity in the LGBTQ community. Obviously, both your bodies are front and center of your brand. We know Rhea is sickening, and she's cinched, and she is just sexy, and she's tall, thin. That's Rhea.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Beyond.
JoJo, we know your body is a big part of your brand.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. That just is. You guys are young, so age hasn't hit. But does body issue or image, does it play on your mind on a daily basis, or
Oh, I've had an eating disorder pretty much most of my adulthood, honestly.
Well, I would love if you were to share that a little bit, because
Honestly,
I think a lot of us have issues.
Yeah, that's something I struggle with a lot is definitely food and eating because
You're Italian.
I'm Italian, yeah, and I love food, so I'll go like on binges, and then I'll have a period where it's like, oh crap, I got a photo shoot in a week, and I'll literally lose 20 pounds in a week, which is not healthy. I'll basically starve myself, and then like I'll let that go for a while, and then I'm like, all right, I'm over it, like, and I'll start, especially working in nightlife. It's hard, you go out, you drink, you need to eat something, and it's just like, what
It's
are
not
you
usually
eating?
healthy choices at 4 in
Yeah,
the morning.
exactly. So it's just like it's just a constant battle of like, what should I eat and being healthy, and then like staying on track, and then falling off, and it's been a struggle for a long time.
When people on social media make comments, it's like, oh, you're looking a little fluffy or something. It's like, what, are you kidding me?
I'm like, I'm thick. I'm a twerker. I need to be thick. So whatever. You know what? The thicker I am, the fatter my booty is, and the better I could twerk. So enjoy.
And
Take a
those comments don't matter.
Pass the
It's like,
vodka.
those are the comments you don't worry about.
But we all know, like, it's like scientific, like chemically, we respond to negative comments and remember one negative comment out of 10
know.
positive comments. That's just
100%.
human.
Well, because we'll scroll past all the good comments and we see the one and we're like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? You're like, you really said that?
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously that's when you remember, because it's like all the people who support you are literally saying the best things. And you have people who you don't
we
know.
look for that.
And
You're
they're the
totally right.
ones who say the negative things. And you're like, you know what? Those comments don't even matter because
Well, I
We
really
don't-
get off on them. I think they're hilarious. I have a mirror, baby. I know what I look like, and if you want to come for me, it just makes me laugh. You know, my diet has been dick and tequila for 17 years, so my body's tight, bitch.
And burritos. She just eats everything burritos.
Everything I eat is phallic.
That's the new flavor by NEFT. Is
Literally,
burrito.
though.
My favorite flavor of burrito is dick.
She will. No, but Rhea's diet literally consists of burritos. Everything.
stuck.
Is she having spaghetti for dinner? It's a spaghetti burrito.
But I'm Mexican. I have to
spaghetti
have
burrito?
tortillas
She's
with
having
everything.
breakfast.
Have
I
you guys
have
had the
to.
Panda Express burrito?
No, I haven't.
No.
So it's orange chicken and the chow mein, and then they wrap it in a tortilla.
That sounds amazing.
It's a secret menu that they only have in LA. Ask for the orange chicken.
Oh,
Burrito.
we are
So
definitely doing that. Ooh, thanks, sis.
So, Ray, I think you need a reality show where you actually confront people that leave comments. Like, you find out their like catfish, but you go like find them out and be like, "Hey, remember this comment you made?" and watch them shit their pants.
We get where they work and where their family lives.
we do the research Alexander's doing.
Yeah, and, literally, and we yelp them to death.
Let's go.
Okay, not to get so deep, but being so involved in the gay entertainment community, what do you think the biggest issues facing the LGBTQ community are today?
Sorry, what was that?
What do you think the biggest issues affecting our community are today?
Oh my God. Okay, let's say the
hard one.
political system coming for our trans brothers and sisters in
Which
law.
people need to realize how serious is right now.
We are equal. We are all equal, and there are so many trans people out there that are, or LGBT people, anybody different, and I call that queer. You know, queer people out there that are having rights taken away just, you know, because they are who they are. And that is not okay. And we, you know, I know, it's, you know, we have RuPaul's Drag Race on TV and we're making all these strides and changes, but we need to really stop celebrating, and we need to keep fighting for our trans brothers and sisters right now, because it is not a game. And this is happening right under our noses. So,
Ray, do you think there's
Absolutely
still?
agree with that.
I still believe there's a huge division between the gay community and the trans community.
there is.
I don't think it's gotten so much better that we are led to believe.
I think that as long as we keep talking about it and we keep bringing it to the forefront, that it will get better. But you know, segregation within our own community has got to stop. We got to start embracing each other and fighting for each other. Us gay people have fought and fought and fought, and we have gay marriage and we have all these things now. Now, you know, it is time to fight for our trans brothers and sisters that are being attacked. And you know what? There's going to be another marginalized group of people that's going to need help after that. You know, we need to start taking care of our community and by community I mean humanity. Us as humans. That is inclusivity. We all have to be there for each other. And it's going to take a lot of time to get there because of systemic, you know, culture and what we have been taught from, you know, since we were kids and our parents. It's going to take a lot of time, but we've got to make longer strides, and we got to be there, and we got to fight.
Now, do you think WeHo Nightlife is reflecting that? I had a member of the trans community, my friend, move here from New York, and she says, "Oh, when's Trans Night out here in West Hollywood?"
Mm-hmm. Sundays, Heavenly
Sundays,
Bodies.
Heavenly Bodies, with
Yes,
Sasha
honey.
Colby.
Wait, I've
Yes,
never
the
even heard
best
this.
Sunday night to go to.
Yeah.
So I've never heard this.
It's at the chapel.
It's the best.
It's incredible. Sasha Colby curates a show of all trans talent, trans go-go dancers.
There you go.
And it's trans men. It's trans women.
Carter
It is,
Ray is there.
Yes,
There's-
it is.
yes.
It is an amazing event, and you don't really understand how important the event is until you go there and you feel the energy in the room. It is all about love and inclusivity and what we are all preaching. And I got to thank Sasha Colby for curating this event, because she is
She's
not
the
only
best.
preaching, she's practicing it, and she's teaching us a fierce story.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because
Yeah.
I'm in the community and I had no clue.
Yeah, she's sickening.
JoJo, what do you think some of the biggest issues that we face are?
I think the biggest issue that I know about right now is what's happening in Florida with the no speak They want to
Oh yeah.
Oh
make it a
my
law
goodness!
where
I
you literally
just read about that.
And it
Can't
passed
even-
the Senate House, by the way.
I can't.
Which is really
It's just like
dangerous.
so. At the end of the day, yeah, like Rhea was saying, we need to stick together. We need to keep fighting because we're all partying and enjoying, but the fight's not over, and I think that's the biggest.
Because it
thing.
might be safe over here in California for us, but it might not be safe
now,
in
until-
other places. And so it's like
Yeah.
making sure that as a whole we are there for everybody
Everyone.
in any state, no matter what state, country, anything. Like it's about coming together.
Well, I know as members of our community don't know what you're talking about, and it's Don't Say Gay is what we're calling the bill, which is a bill in Florida. I heard the opposite from a very conservative person of how it's being sold to them, and it's that they don't want LGBTQ youth to feel bad in school, so you don't mention LGBTQ to protect them. That's how it's being sold
No,
out there. and
that's
it's
like not teaching African American history. It's not like you can't do that. That's
Yeah.
not, that's
But
the
that's the
completely
spin that's being
opposite.
put, and that's so dangerous because somebody's like, "No, we're protecting their rights." It's like you really have no clue
And
what this
what-
really is.
what
No, they're actually making it worse. Protecting is educating. So
Yeah.
if you educate people on what LGBTQ is and who they are and what they stand for, and that there really isn't much of a difference than who you're sexually attracted to, that, normalize it. Don't make it even more ostracized.
And people are not realizing it's affecting the teachers too. So if you're an openly gay teacher, you might as well say goodbye to your
Well,
job.
but then also, but it was so.
Oh, wow.
I read,
Yeah,
I read,
that's part of it.
I read a few things about it, and it was children who were giving statements about this new bill and how the teachers saved their lives because they were so. Like they had no one to talk to. They can't talk to their parents. They can't talk to anybody, so they confined into their teachers, and their teachers were there for them. And
they're
those
openly
kids,
gay
those
teachers.
And I mean, are you gonna
those
go up to
kids
your
are
big
amazing
butch
people today?
teacher? Are you going to go to your, queen teacher? Something's really happening to me. Like, I'm going up to the queen.
But this
Warmth,
is very real.
embrace, understanding. You've
It
been
is,
through
it
shit.
is.
I'm going
Yes,
through shit.
Yes.
Rhea Litre as the principal. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, where's that show? That's what I
No
want.
homework
I'm telling
for
you,
everyone.
It's a Euphoria spinoff. It's Latre High School.
No homework, only homos. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a good high school.
School of Latre, let's go.
This question comes from one of your fans. Anything career-wise you would do over, you would say yes to or you'd say no to?
I'm a yes girl. I say yes to everything.
But in looking back, you're like, God, I probably shouldn't have done that.
I was like, I said yes to a venue we don't want to speak too much of, but
I know.
I
I think my paycheck's still in the kitchen somewhere.
it's probably in some sort of counter somewhere. But yeah, it was like it wasn't a regret though because I learned a lot from it. So
That's
You-
what I
you
was going
did
to say.
learn.
There's
yeah.
lots of things that
I
I've
learned
done
a
I'm
lot,
not proud of.
things that I the worst, but you learn so much from it. What not to do going forward.
Mhm.
Like for sure.
Yeah, I don't have any regrets except for the men that I dated. So.
Well, apparently you're like a romantic on one side, and then you're just dating trash on the
Yeah,
other
well,
side.
that's all that I feel like I could find in
Well, and
LA.
he should regret it because he never learns.
I only met I only met one, and that was at one of your toga parties.
Oh,
well,
God.
at your house first at one of your toga
Which-
parties. I think it was like
wow,
2020,
God.
maybe 2019.
Oh, I know the one.
He
So
had
the other
he had a really nice body, but he was a little femme, but he was really cute.
Yeah, that's the one that I interrupted.
Oh, is
it.
that-
He couldn't even finish because I got home and knocked on the door and forgot my key. He was so mad.
In that moment, I decided I needed to get my own apartment.
On that note, final question of the evening: where do you see yourself in 5 years?
With a fat house in the hills. All right?
In JoJo's guest house.
Do you know that I would totally watch that reality show? By the way,
It would be great. We need to do that, actually.
I love it. I love
But yeah,
it.
no, honestly, yeah, I want to do. I'm hoping to be on a show by then. I'm hoping to have music out, and I hope to be set in my career and have a fat house in the hills with Ray in the guest house, babysitting the kids.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's the best idea.
Me laying back, having
That's the
Nerf vodka
Nef-
while the nanny
Nef-
takes care of the children.
No, but seriously, I mean, with the music you're putting out, and like, where do you really what's your dream position?
For me, I've actually been really battling with this because I am 37 years old now, and I've been doing this
Super
for
young, though.
17 years. and thinking, what am I going to do with my career in life? I know that I love doing this, but there's got to be a segue. I think that I'm always going to be creating music and creating content because that's just who I am, and I'm an entertainer.
And you're damn funny at it too, by the way. It's like.
But my most favorite thing is to support talent around me, and I think that I'm a great producer. And there's a new artist hub opening in Los Feliz called Black Rose that my producer and son Sam J. Garfield is curating, and it's a very safe place for artists to record music, to showcase their music. And I think that's like the avenue that I want to go more into, producing and showing people and helping them find their strengths so that they can become the biggest and best them that they can be.
And again, thank you for sharing. It's like, I think we all get to that point. It's like, we're doing great, but it's like, what's the next step? Like, something else needs to break. We can only spend so much time and sweat and tears. And, that's very real.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yes. Where do you want to be in 5 years?
I mean, obviously, like, I want to be happy in 5 years. Like, I would love to have maybe my own venue. I think that would be absolutely incredible. It was always a dream of mine until I was the GM of a venue, and I was like, you know what?
So much work.
A lot more goes into this than people actually think. So we'll see. I'm getting into real estate right now, so we'll see what.
Honey, Vinny be rich, honey.
We'll see what.
Vinny be rich in 5 years.
We'll see what happens in 5 years, but I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much for being on the show. I think we talked about pretty much everything.
Everything. Thank you
except
so
for
much
my,
for having us.
Except for my hit drag show every Monday night at Rocco's. We have a midnight drag show called Make Out Mondays. It is a night that is based on new drag talent and icons. So, a lot of drag race girls are, have infiltrated and have taken over and showcasing their talents and have left a lot of local talent in the dust. So I really like to give those people opportunity to be seen, and also the icons a chance to teach these bitches what it is really about and what it is that we do. Last night we had TP Lords from Miami come and turn the party, and then
it's always a party.
We have always a party.
We have beginners, performing that I haven't even heard of, but I thought that they were fierce and wanted to give them a stage. So you're gonna get everything from the spectrum of drag at Make Out Mondays, and I can't wait to see you.
And also, you gave queens a voice during COVID with Quarantine Queens.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Two
she did.
seasons.
JoJo and I did Quarantine Queen during the pandemic. It is the first ever digital drag show in history.
Yeah.
And we did it 3 days a week. And it was not a game, honey. JoJo would set up the sets while I was painting. It was a production.
It was work.
And honestly,
at 3 p.m., Rhea would open her eyes and be like, yeah, we're ready.
She'd be like, why is the Bluetooth speaker not connected? Where's the laptop? This light was supposed to be on. Why did you do this?
It's true. I treated you so bad.
And I'd be like, oh my God. I'm like, yo, I'm trying. Like, I don't know.
He did his best, and I'm a bitch.
No,
it was a lot of fun, though. Honestly,
the baddest.
I was
And
thinking about it today.
income going into, the Queen's pockets. You had celebrities.
It was my sanity, too. Like, it just kept me sane during this pandemic. We were stuck home, and we took it very seriously, too, right off the bat, where we did not leave the apartment for months. We weren't around anyone, so we were like, let's do it. Let's have fun.
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
Looking back, honestly, it was the best time of my life was the pandemic.
It really was. It really was.
Mine was real good, too.
I had a great pandemic, yeah. It was. It sounds awful, but it just was nice to like be able to get out of the nightlife and like focus on my creative side of my, because I feel like with nightlife it's hard to really be that fully creative because there is kind of a formula to it. There's a way to do it, where when you're not there and you're working on social media and online and tapes and videos, it's creative.
I think COVID was like a cocoon for a lot of us. Yeah. And we came out as like a butterfly. We came out different. We came out with new skills. Like you had to produce a show from your house and worry about like logging onto Instagram and all that bullshit.
It was fun. I love producing. Calling the dolls. You want to do a gig? It's my favorite thing. My favorite call to make.
Rhea, tell everybody where they can find and follow you.
Rhea Litre, RHEALITRE, drags baddest bitch if you can't remember. And I'm everywhere, girl, all over the internet. I think you read my Wikipedia.
And JoJo.
And search yours.
And JoJo, we know Tuesdays are our favorite days.
Twerk
So
Tuesday, baby. Y'all can find me on all social media at JoJo Guadz, JoJoGuadz. And if that's hard for you to spell, just look up JoJo Twerks. That works. With a Z, though.
awesome.
JoJo Twerks.
And I think we're gonna go watch you twerk tonight.
Yes.
I think we are. I think we're coming. I think we're
Twerk
coming.
Tuesday, baby.
Twerk
Come through.
Tuesdays.
Yes.
Vincent, where can people find and follow you? And when can we come to Wonderland OC?
So you can follow me at Vinny Be Happy, VANNY BEHAPPY, and then Wonderland Club OC.
And I tell you, it's an experience. It's like walking into Willy Wonka, Studio 54, and like a John Waters film all at once.
And this Thursday, actually, February 17th, everybody who walks in has the chance to win VIP bottle service until midnight. And Kimora Black will announce the winner at 12:30 a.m. So shortly after midnight, somebody will get a free VIP bottle service package for March 3rd. Our Devil Wears Nada party.
Ooh.
Hot.
I'm going to be there without bottle service. Not. I'm going to be there.
Speaking of bottle service, I'm going to have some more NEFT vodka.
Wait, can I actually?
Anyone else?
You toss it back?
Let's do it.
Lord help us. Well, that's all, folks. It's always a grab bag of fun here On the Rocks. Big thank you to our fabulous guest, my engineer, Tony Sweet, our social media clip engineer. I'm going to just have a little.
Yeah,
Good girl.
it's
Good girl.
And honestly, like you have this neat, and it goes down like butter. Butter.
Like my voice, right?
Wow.
No, yeah. You were talking about that before the gig. You're like, oh, you hear my voice?
You sound like B. Arthur, by the way. You're
I
like,
love it.
I know y'all been waiting to
I know
hear
y'all
the
been
sound of my voice.
Right? JoJo Guadz is your favorite. You know there's no other choice. Hey.
Big thank you to our sponsors, fandaddies.com, and of course, NEFT Vodka, keeping it liquored, keeping it fun. Please like, share, subscribe to continue bringing this fabulous programming to you for free. Coming up, we are featuring the writer for Everybody's Talking About Jamie, the film and the show. Tom McRae is here. Also, we have controversial multimedia personality Courtney Stodden is talking about new beginnings and her new music. So, until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, stay sexy. More importantly, stay tipsy.
Ooh.
See you next Tuesday.
Have a good night.
Cheers.
On the rocks.
Cheers.
Episode of On the Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram at On the Rocks On Air. Find everything On the Rocks for free at OnTheRocksRadioshow.com. Subscribe, like, review, and share. Until next week, stay fabulous.